Okay, so we're going to start again with this rolling technique. And again, we're just going to nice and deep over the calf muscle. Just watch the back of the knees because they are a little bit more sensitive. Okay, so it's exactly what you did a minute ago. It's just we're a wee bit more focused now because we're just working on the leg. And again, with things like sciatic nerve, you can get right up into the buttocks now. Make sure you go over the hip. And again, I'm doing that counterclockwise movement, clockwise movement. So people get a lot of tension just about the spot that I'm on right now. And that'll lead that connecting tissue into that IT band. Okay, the IT band is on that outside line between the hip and the knee, so on the thigh, outer thigh. And again, you'll know yourself if you've got someone in who's maybe a runner, they've got really tight hamstrings, you can just spend a wee bit more time getting that heat into their hamstrings. Okay, so the idea for the whole massage really is that we're getting heat right into the tissues. We're just using a couple of nice moves to do that. And in between, at any time during your treatment, you can actually just drop in with some freestyle massage as well, if you want to. Okay. I'm just going right down, pay nice attention to the ankle and also to the feet. Okay. Especially once the compress just starts to cool down that wee bit. It will still keep its heat in the middle if you've soaked them properly. So don't ignore the feet. Okay, so that's probably the second time that I've done my kneading. I'm just going to do some effleurage now, some nice drainage. Push nice and deeply into that sciatic nerve. Just release all the untrappings of that. I'm going to slide down and I'm going to go back up again. Okay, you see how I'm just coming back very, very lightly. A bit of drainage over the popliteal area. I would be at the side of the bed. I'm only standing here so that you can see and so that the camera can pick everything up. Again, up to the sciatic nerve, lightly down, and this time I'm going to do that effleurage movement. Right along the side of the body, and make sure I get that in. Sorry, I'm just moving. I wouldn't be here, I'd be at the bottom. I just want you to see. And again, don't ignore the hip. The hip's so important, especially on women. So get your drainage right up to that point. Alright. And then we can turn this guy on his side. And we can just use him like a little wheel. Right, and this is just, this is probably the deepest move you're going to get because you're using it at an angle and you're using the side of the compress. And again, I'm only coming round here so that you can see what I'm doing. And once I get up in here, usually I just use my forearm. Okay, the whole thing should roll on its own. Again, you can go up into the sciatic nerve, pressure, and come down. Okay. Again, always check the heat. If you think it's really cold by this stage, you can go and get another one, swap them over. The client doesn't tend to mind. I know for people who have only done a full body massage, it feels a bit disjointed, but honestly, they're that space, they don't notice. It's only you that notices. Okay. And then that rolling technique coming up the side of the leg. Okay, I'm just going this way just so you can see. Again, don't ignore the hip. You know, you could even do a wee bit of rocking here, especially if they are, like, say, oh, you know, my hips, my lower back are killing me these days. So, right, okay, sort that out. Let's get loads of heat in there. Okay, I would probably change this now because I've had it out for quite a bit of time. However, just for the sake of filming this, I'm going to go into the last move, which is exactly the same again. Okay. And again, anytime we can use 2 compresses if you want to when you're doing stuff, but I think you get more control out of 1 compress at a time, especially areas like the leg. Okay. I'm just making sure that I cover absolutely everywhere, and then I can come down. You know, and every time you're finished a wee move, just come down, get the feet, a wee bit of tension again. You know, that heat just goes right through the body, it's lovely. Okay, and then we'll just finish with another bit of that kneading. The kneading's great. Okay, it's the best way to get the heat into the tissues. I would probably have swapped my compresses, alright. Just going quickly here. And again, you can use it with one hand if you want to be a wee bit lighter on your client. Okay, get someone in that's a wee bit more fragile, someone that's a wee bit more elderly. You got a rugby player on your bed right now, you'd be like this. Okay, both hands. Okay. Over the popliteal area and up the leg. Okay. I'm just making sure really that you're just giving the whole of the leg attention. This bit here again. Over the side of the gastrocs gets quite tight. Don't be afraid to give that a wee bit of attention as well. The important thing is that your client's relaxed and they're enjoying it. Okay. Get that heat into the tissue. Time at the end today, I'm going to do some advanced techniques as well. I might give you just 1 or 2, alright. And then I would finish and pressure, and then I'd be doing the back, okay, but I'm predominantly working this side of the back when I start the back, and then the same on the other side. I'll give that side of the back a wee bit more attention, okay, but we don't want to ignore it completely. It's like a double whammy. Okay, so I'll let you do those. So you've got kneading, you've got effleurage, and you've got side rolling and back to kneading. So 4 movements on the leg, back to the foot, and then we're ready. Thanks.